Hi, I'm Spyn, and like most of you out there, I have a few hobbies that I like to do, and I thought I would share those with you. But I have quite a few hobbies that I enjoy, and I really don't think I have time to cover them all at once. Like, really, guys, I have way too many hobbies. I don't know what I was thinking. So, with that in mind, we're gonna talk about just one of those, because, really, my videos are only supposed to be 10 minutes long, and this one's going to be pushing it. And I really want to do each of my hobbies justice, so we're just doing the one, okay? This time, we're going to be covering a LARP called Amtgard. How does that sound? Does that sound good? Well, that's too bad, because it's my channel, and we're going to talk about what I want to. So let's get into it. So, what is Amtgard exactly? Well, to put it simply, it's a live-action role-playing game, or a LARP for short. Think Dungeons and Dragons, but a lot more activity going on, and with the added benefit of being able to hit people you don't like, and some you do, with sticks. What sets this game apart from other games of the same type is a magic system. So, not only can you play a warrior or an assassin, or maybe an archer, but you can also play like a healer or a wizard or maybe a druid, if you like. But Spyn, if you get to hit people with sticks, what type of sticks do you get to hit them with? I'm glad you asked. You get to hit them with this. This is a boffer, or a padded sword. In this game's ideology, you pad the weapon, not the player. Unlike games like SEA, which choose to pad the player and not the weapon. Seriously guys, you should see this. Take a moment, pause this video, go look up SEA, watch these guys out there in full armor hitting each other as hard as they can with rattan. It's crazy. Anyway, most of our weapons are homemade for the most part, but there are some resources out there that will sell you pre-made ones online. I started playing when I was about 16, maybe 17 years old, and my cousin was like, "Hey, have you heard about this game called Amtgard? You get to hit your friends with sticks." And I was like, "Yes, I would like to hit my friends with sticks. I don't like any of you." And I went, and I absolutely loved it. I mean, basically a live-action D&D style game. You get to go on real-life quests with your friends. Just absolutely captured my imagination. I mean, I was not the popular kid. I played D&D a lot. Look at me. Look at this. Does this look like the popular kid? It's not the popular kid. I've been playing this game for about 19, maybe 20 years now, off and on since high school. Because of this game, I've made some of my best friends, and also I've made some of my not so best friends. But that's a story for another day. A whole other day. You ever meet a person and you're just like, "Oh yeah, that guy. I spent a whole week with him one day." In that time span, as a fighter, I've gone from absolutely hopeless rookie to fairly competent fighter. Now, I couldn't have done any of this without the help of my friends, and a great deal of just head banging into wall until it is broken down levels of persistence. Because, believe it or not, I don't have any natural talent. Again, look at me. Along the way, I've gained a plethora of amazing stories, which I probably should do a video on at some point. Maybe if this one does well, I'll do a video on Amtgard stories. That would be kind of interesting. But I certainly wouldn't have gotten any of them if I just stayed home and kept playing D&D. This whole game is truly amazing. When you join it, you're not just joining your little chapter and your little park. You're also possibly joining a principality or a kingdom. And that's just so much fun. And I encourage absolutely everyone to get involved with this, because there's just nothing else really like it. Not really. Not like these kind of games. So how do we do that? Well, That's a good question. The first thing that you're going to need to do is to try to find a local park or chapter that's close to your area. Luckily, you should be able to find all of this information on the Amped Wiki or the ORC, or Online Record Keeper, which I will have linked down below in the description of this video. Once you've found a suitable local park, you might consider joining their Facebook page, if you still use Facebook. I know this is the only reason I still use Facebook. This will give you the latest on group meetups and scheduling and the rest of that good stuff for your local chapter. After that, just turn up and ask if you can join. The answer is almost always yes. I don't believe I've ever heard of a group that said no yet. And don't worry if you don't have any equipment. More than likely, some people are going to be willing to loan you some gear. But after a while, you are going to be expected to have your own stuff, which includes garb, or the stuff that you wear. And if you're very nice to these people, then some of them may be willing to make this for you, maybe just outright give this to you, or more likely they might be willing to sell this to you for a fairly nominal fee. Now, before we can really get started playing, you should know that if you're under the age of 13, they may not let you participate. That's unless you have a parent or guardian with you. You will need to sign a waiver, and again, if you're under the age of 18, that waiver is going to need to be signed by a parent or guardian so that they can keep that on file. This is for your protection and everybody else's. This is a contact game, after all. After all of that stuff is done, you'll be asked to sign into the park for their records, and also so that you can start accumulating credits towards your chosen class, which you will now get to pick. It's important to note that you are not tied to this class. You can change it at any time. Most people choose to stick with one class until they've leveled it all the way up and unlocked all the different abilities, but you by no means have to stick to that class. There are classes like Warrior and Scout and Monk, Barbarian, Archer, Wizard, and Bard, just to name a few for you to pick from. This is by no means a complete list, and if you would like to see one, you can again find all of that information on Amped Wiki, which again will be linked down below. After that, you'll be taught the basic rules of play, including hit locations, both valid and illegal. Then you'll be free to take the field and enjoy the fun game of Amtgard. And really, that's the basics. There is a lot more that we could go into. Believe me, there's plenty more involved in this game, including awards and knighthoods, as well as elected officials and tournaments, large-scale events, and really, it's just way more information than can reasonably be covered in just a single video. Well, I think that's about all I can cover in this video. We're gonna have to end it here. I would like to encourage absolutely everyone to go and check out Amtgard. I will link all the pertinent information in the description down below. Give it a look. Now, if you're interested in taking an even deeper dive into the Amtgard community as a whole, and would just like to hear some interesting stories about some notable figures with some notable figures in Amtgard's past, I would ask you to check out my friends over at WAK. They do podcast-style videos interviewing a variety of notable figures from around the foam fighting world, which I find very entertaining. So go check them out, give them a like, give them a sub. They're great guys, and I believe they're going to be adding videos soon. This is definitely one of those channels you want to get on the ground floor of. Anyway guys, thank you so much for watching. As always, your support means the absolute world to me. And if you're not already subscribed, consider joining us. We have so many people now. It's been absolutely amazing. We're really close to 5K. So come join us. Also, if you liked the video, leave us a like. It really helps us out. And tell me if you play Amtgard or some other foam fighting sport or some other LARP down below. I'd absolutely love to hear from you. I absolutely, truly value your feedback. So leave it down below. I'm always watching. Always. Even when I don't want to. As always, guys, I have some words to leave you with. When you tear out a man's tongue, you're not proving him a liar. You're only telling the world that you fear what he might say. Bye!